good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deb Sofield, and welcome to my Saturday show, Encouragement for Your Life. So Encouragement for Your Life is my book series, volume 1 through 3, and they're available on Amazon.com. Just type my name into the Amazon website, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. Hey, this week my message is this: today is a new day. You will get out of it just what you put into it. If you've made mistakes, even serious mistakes, there is always another chance for you. It's a great show today. Please stay with me. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started with today's show. I admit I am in love with today's quote and today's message. It's from Mary Pickford, who was an actress. And here we go. Today is a new day. You will get out of it just what you put into it. If you've made mistakes, even serious ones, there's always another chance for you. And supposing you have tried and failed again and again, you may have a fresh start at any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. I love that thought for today. Maybe it's because I just got off the road speaking to a group in Pennsylvania. In the course of my travels, I heard once again about how failing in the past is messing up the future. To which I completely disagree. We've all made mistakes in our past, but remember, that was the past. And since we're not living in the past, friends, you've got to look to the future. Remember my quote: you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. Mary Pickford has it right. If you've made mistakes, even serious mistakes, there is always another chance for you. I've heard the most amazing stories of human frailties that have wrecked lives. And yet, as I remind them, they're still here. Mistakes, even serious mistakes, can be pushed past if you're willing to do the work. And I encourage you to buckle down and push hard, because there's always another chance for you if you are willing to let go of pride and hurt and anger and move forward. You know what's interesting to me is the pride is usually self-pride. Self-pride that you would do something so stupid to mess up your life, that you can't believe you did it and survived, but you did. So now what are you going to do? Sit around and wallow in your self-pity? I hope not. It's awful to watch, and goodness, it is worse to listen to. Oh, how about hurt? Hurt's a hard one, especially when you occasionally see the person or people you hurt. No amount of sorry can move past some of the mistakes we've made. But remember, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. And once you've done that and then moved forward to ask forgiveness of others, you are done. Even if they don't forgive you, if you've acknowledged your mistakes and truly said you're sorry, hear me, you are done. Finished. Stop. Over. You're done. So stop replaying, stop rehashing, stop reliving those errors of your way. It will drive you to depression, or worse, maybe anger, or maybe eating a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts. It's not going to go away, so you have to move past it. Believe it or not, your hurt friend may want to continue to hurt. Why? Because it's a badge of honor for their sorry life, and frankly, they like to hurt, which is weird in my book, I have to say. But it gives them something to talk about at prayer meeting. But once an honest forgiveness is asked, hear me, you're done, and they can deal with their anger their way. You, on the other hand, are going to walk away, send blessings and kind thoughts back to them. Now let me touch on anger. That's a tough one. For the life of me, I don't understand why everyone is so angry. And what's interesting is that most people don't know why they're angry, but they are. Here's what I think for many who don't want to admit it. They're angry because they think someone else got a better deal, a bigger break, an opportunity that should have been theirs. Well, I hate to break it to you, but life doesn't work that way. I've got a great quote on my board that says, "Jealousy is all the fun you think they had." I'm going to say it again because you need to hear it. Jealousy is all the fun you think they had. Interesting, huh? Some people have created in their head a scenario that is probably so far from the truth that even they can't admit they're off base. So, cool down, friend. No one likes to hang around angry people, and it's not good for your heart and soul or mind or body or your future. I like Mary Pickford's next line. Supposing you have tried and failed again and again, you may have a fresh start any moment you choose. Imagine that. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose. It doesn't matter where you've been, it only matters where you're going. I know the briars of your past want to cling to your present, but pluck them off and toss them away. I can remember as a kid, there were blackberry bushes all along the mountain path where we used to play. And the lure and desire of the big, deep purple berries was more than the pain of gently picking up the prickly stem, bending under the plant, and reaching for the fruit. And nothing's harder than to figure out how on earth I ended up in the middle of the patch. Basically had to crawl out to avoid being scarred for life in search of blackberries. The scratches and stains will last a while, but once I was home and showered, my fresh start appeared with only a few reminders of my time in the stickers and the briars. And the same's for you. You can have a fresh start because you are ultimately in control of your thoughts. Really, when you think about it, the one thing you can control in this life are your thoughts. And that's why it's important that you and I focus on the positive, the good, the right, not the dark, the deep, or the angry. Listen, you can have a fresh start at any moment you choose. You choose. You make the decision for your life. Don't look to others to make you whole. You make a decision today to be different. Because even though you have tried and failed again and again, failing doesn't make you a failure. Staying down does. Failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. And staying down is a choice. It's a choice you make every day when you dwell on something you cannot change. Do we wish we had done better, not made that mistake, or had taken a different path? Of course. But wishing and hoping and dwelling isn't going to change a thing. Well, with the exception of your state of mind, which is why I'm talking to you today, to encourage you to let it go and get going. My message today is about getting up and get going in your life because time is precious. And every minute, every hour, every day, every month, every year you waste, you cannot get back. And let me remind you that in those years of wasted time, your world will change. Your kids will grow up, your loved ones will pass away, your job will change, your finances will be different, and your body? Oh, yeah, the body will break down and your days will be different. So think long and hard about what you're doing today. And if it's not what you want to remember for your tomorrow, you need to make a choice. Why? Because today's a new day. You will get out of it just what you put into it. Now, you know I speak a lot about your amazing life and how I truly believe you were put here for a purpose, and your job, my friend, is to figure out why and how to move yourself and others along the path for success in the direction of your dreams. So here in the South, we're finally seeing the signs of spring, a new beginning. The winter is past. The cold, dark nights are beginning to be just a memory. The sun shines brighter and earlier in the morning, and the birds awaken us with a call as the day beckons us to get started. That along with my cup of coffee. Friend, today's a new day. You will get out of it just what you put into it. If you've made mistakes, even serious mistakes, there's always another chance for you. And supposing you have tried and failed again and again, you may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Today is a new day. So wherever you are today, take a minute and think about this new day. This opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to those you love or simply to yourself. Today is a new day. Forget and forgive your mistakes, even the serious ones, and believe that there is always another chance for you. And for those of you who are muttering to yourself, but Deb, you just don't understand. Let me assure you that I probably do. But today's a new day, and you can have a fresh start any moment you choose. Today is a new day. For this thing we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. And I don't think that's acceptable, especially on this new day. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to my weekly Saturday show, Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. After the commercial, I'll come back. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If someone you know is interviewing for law school, medical school, dental school, veterinary school, college, or a job, call me. Because you need to be prepared for the interview. Together, we'll craft the answers to the questions that will be asked, even the hard ones. I'll teach you how to connect with the interviewer, work on your positive body language, and give you the powerful words and answers the interview requires. You know, for most interviews, there's a standard set of questions that you must know the answer to. And depending on what you're interviewing for, that conversation changes. You need a coach, and I can help. I have years of experience coaching for all types of interviews. Call me. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Welcome back, everybody, and I hope you'll stay with me. I've got some more information I'd like to share about the idea of forgiveness and getting back up again. I came across a really great little poem by Dr. Hartzell Wilson. Now that's a name, Hartzell Wilson. And it's called A New Day. Here we go. This is the beginning of a new day. I've been given this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it. I can make it a day long to be remembered for its joy, its beauty, and its achievement. Or it can be filled with pettiness. What I do today is important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever. But I shall hold something which I have traded for it. It may be no more than a memory, but if it's a worthy one, I shall not regret the price. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure. Yeah, poem called A New Day by Dr. Hartzell Wilson. Have to admit, I think it speaks to my message for today. And as I was looking around, I came across an interesting article by Elizabeth Scott. Now, I've edited this, and it's called The Benefits of Forgiveness. Now, I'm going to dive deeper into this because I will say if there is one thing I have noticed when I am out speaking and folks speak to me afterward, it's not just forgiveness of others, it's a forgiveness of themselves for mistakes that they've made. And you know better, but oh my goodness, you go rushing in and then you're thinking, whoa, how did I get myself here? So this article, I think, gives some really good points on the importance of letting go and forgiving. And here's why. The article says, forgiveness is good for your heart. Literally. One study from the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found forgiveness to be associated with lower heart rate and blood pressure, as well as stress relief. This can bring long-term health benefits for your heart and overall health. A later study found forgiveness to be positively associated with the 5 measures of health: physical symptoms, medication used, sleep quality, fatigue, and somatic complaints. It seems that reduction in negative affect, depressive symptoms, strengthens spirituality, conflict management, and stress relief one finds through forgiveness all have a significant impact on your overall health. A third study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that forgiveness not only restores positive thoughts, feelings, and behaviors toward the offending party. In other words, forgiveness restores the relationship to its previous positive state, but the benefits of forgiveness spill over into positive behaviors towards others outside of the relationship. Forgiveness is associated with more volunteerism, donating to charity, and other good behaviors. And the converse of this is true for non-forgiveness. So to sum it up, forgiveness is good for your body, your relationships, and your place in the world. And I have to say, that is reason enough to convince everyone who's listening today to do the work of letting go of anger and simply working on forgiveness for others as well as yourself. I know it may seem odd to have a whole show on anger and forgiveness, but friends, you and I see it every day. We see it in ourselves and others and people we love and people we don't like. It's just become a part of our society that folks just pop off so quickly and say things that, frankly, in hindsight, will have done great damage to them. But you know what's interesting about anger? It not only does damage to perhaps your professional life, it will. It will also do damage to your physical body. And I'm not sure we always compare the two. Sometimes I see folks when I travel in airports and they look like they've had a life of chewing on rocks. They're not pleasant. They grumble. They complain. No one wants to sit with them on the airplane because, first of all, it's so small. And secondly, they're not the nice seatmate. Trust me, in my travels, I have sat next to people. I wondered if their mother knew how they acted, they would get a spanking, or at least have their mouth washed out with soap, which I know is illegal now. I'm just saying. All right, so my point is simply this. You and I are much better than this. We should be. And if we're not, then we need to fix ourselves. Because I love this quote by Bernard Meltzer. When you forgive, you in no way change the past, but you sure do change the future. And that's what I want for you. A better future where you thrive, where you become the best you for the rest of your rock star amazing life. There's a website that I tend to look at occasionally called Lifehack, and Tina Williamson wrote a really good article, Reasons Why You Should Let Go of Resentments. So let me go through some of this in the time that we have left. She says, if we're all honest, don't we all carry a grudge towards someone or something? A heavy heart, lost loved one, or a belief that we might have been treated unfairly. She says, I know I do, but I rarely stop to think about how these resentments are affecting me. The author says, resentments are like weeds in our garden. They multiply, take over, and ultimately suffocate all the beautiful flowers. Sometimes they can be big, blow the lid off the container kind of resentment. And other times they're small, sweep them under the rug kind of feelings. But the problem is that even if we sweep them under the rug, they're ready to pop up on any rainy day and strike. So she's given us a few ways that we can get rid of these, quote, pesky weeds. The first one is resentment turns into anger. Anger is an ugly, clenched fist, red-faced place where really nobody wants to go, at least nobody who's normal. During the stage of retaliation, much like the Incredible Hulk, as much as you try to resist the urge to slam your opponent to the floor or the ceiling, anger can make you feel like you were at the mercy of an unpredictable and unstoppable, powerful emotion. You might even catch yourself saying, I wasn't in my right mind. And this is a dangerous place for you to be, my friend. The truth is, anger is not caused by outer circumstances, people, or things. Let me state that again. Anger is not caused by outer circumstances, people, or things. Anger is a state of mind, and therefore, only you can make yourself angry. You have the power to control your state of mind. Yes, you do. Another point, it's bad for the body. Resentment and anger causes the following: headaches and chronic pain, insomnia and a higher tendency for alcohol and drug abuse, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and even perhaps stroke. Also, believe it or not, skin problems. Anger is bad for your mind. The effects aren't just limited to the physical. Letting go of old grudges reduces levels of depression and anxiety. You know, our minds are like a busy freeway, the nonstop chattering, bouncing, judging, thinking, worrying about the future, and reliving the past. Well, frankly, it's exhausting. When you're holding on to resentment, your mind is agitated. It is centered around ego, reconfirming that you, oh yes, you, were treated unfairly. In this agitated state, it's impossible for you to really enjoy your life. Overthinking manifests into a whole heap of new problems. It can create unhealthy habits and leave us feeling powerless. against the devastating effects of poor mental health. Forgiveness, my friend, will bring you peace of mind. Resentment ruins relationships. Think about this. Resentment left unattended can lead to bottled emotions and unhealthy outbursts. You may have hurt your loved ones with physical or verbal abuse and isolate yourself from friends and family. It can lead to venting at innocent parties, such as your children, your spouse, or your pet. It can lead to low self-esteem and manipulation in a relationship. Remember, no one's perfect. Unfortunately, we are going to hurt other people, and other people are going to hurt us, intentionally or unintentionally. But do you really want to become a bitter, resentful, unpleasant person? No, you don't. Let me just answer that for you. The fact is, you know people like this, and you have said to yourself, I will not be like this. And yet, here we are. Letting go of resentments will renew your relationships. Hear me. It will give you a breath of fresh air. It will lighten your load. But you must be strong enough to leave it behind. I thought the next point was interesting. Resentment subdues your instincts. We're all born with instincts to help us survive. Animals know when to run from a predator. Baby kittens know how to nuzzle into their mother. And we know when something just feels off. The problem with resentment is it's all unhealthy thinking, replaying and blaming. These states of mind subdue the otherwise beeping red alarm that tells us when something's wrong. Instead of tuning into our natural feelings, we're too busy thinking. We think and we think and we think and we think some more. We're always thinking. Hey, listen, stop all the chatter and let's tune in to your inner compass. That will not lead you astray. Start the flow of life that you were meant to, because you do not want to subdue your instincts. The damage is great and it will be lifelong. I love her next point. Resentment develops ignorance. Resentment arises from ignorance, from an unjustifiable sense of entitlement. I have been treated unfairly. I can't believe he would say that to me. My husband never pays attention to me. Why would she get a promotion over me? I'm a much better candidate. It's unfair that my loved one was taken from me too soon. And on and on. If you check any resentment, it is always in precious defense of self. Ignorance makes it impossible for us to see things clearly as they are. Ignorance is tuning out. Oftentimes, we're unaware that we're unaware. We project our assumptions, beliefs, hopes, and fears, and fuse them with reality. But it's not reality. It is simply the way we have viewed the situation through our lens. And our lens, believe it or not, can be discolored. With a mindfulness practice, we can become more and more open to what is, and we can accept what has happened without so much blame and victimizing. All this blame actually catapults us into more suffering. I'll tell you this, forgiveness will enhance your life. When we skip from thought to thought in a foggy haze, these moments can end up filling most of our lives. The recognition that you can choose emotional well-being, even when things don't turn out the way you want, will change you. It will change your spirit, your mind, and your body. Dwelling on past injustices has no effect on the present other than causing you and your loved ones pain. Being angry will not bring back a lost loved one or mend your broken heart. Did you hear me? It will not mend your broken heart. This may be difficult, but you can still wish someone happiness, even if they've hurt you. Forgiveness can change your life. It doesn't mean you've forgotten the past. It doesn't mean you have to keep someone in your life. It just means that you have decided to move on and you're ready to be happy. All right, peaceful mind, peaceful life. Life doesn't always turn out the way we want. We all know that. It can really be tough sometimes. And we can be caught in the violent storms. And if we're not careful, these resentments, well, they'll make us seasick. Sometimes I think you have to accept the storm. And then you're going to find a lifeboat among the strongest waves. And that lifeboat will lead you to the safety of the shore so you can begin again and have the life you have always imagined. That's a really terrific article by Tina Williamson, and I found it online. I just thought it really, in a sense, put into perspective the things I'd wanted you to think about today, because I believe you are too valuable to be weighed down by your past mistakes. We've all made them, and now we can all move forward, and we can live the life we were born to live. Hey, I appreciate you joining me today. I'm Deb Sofield. You've been listening, believe it or not, to Encouragement for Your Life. Because, friend, I want you to live the life God has planned for you. I want you to go and do big things because the world needs you now more than ever. We need you to stand up, to speak out, to be the person you were born to be. All right, I hope you'll join me next week, same time, same place, for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. Have a great weekend, everybody.